joining me again. My name is Kaylee, and I appreciate you following me on this journey of me sharing my words and my visions that the Lord and I have been documenting over the last couple of years. I've just been really feeling like, although up until this point I've been writing everything down and it's been helpful to me, I feel like I'm at the point where the Lord is really just encouraging me to actually share these and speak them, that they need to actually come out of my mouth. And so I'm just been going through as much of these as I can, as many of these as I can. I've seen things from a couple years back, and now I'd like to say we're pretty caught up at this point. So I guess my intentions or my goal would be to get everything caught up, and then from here on out, I can then continue to share what the Lord is sharing with me, but it will be a lot more present, like current and where we're at right now. But really leading up until this point, I've said it before that I've had a fear of judgment, a fear of man, and I've kept a lot of these to myself, and I'm just trying to break out of that mindset, out of that belief that and really remaining in God's faithfulness and acting out of obedience. That if this is what He wants me to do, that I'm just going to need to push through it. And so I appreciate your kindness and your support and your encouragement all the way through this journey, because it is real and honest and vulnerable, and I'm just out here trying to be obedient to the Lord. So I guess, yeah, thank you, and I just pray that each one of these words, each one of these videos would get to the hearts that need it, and I pray that it would continue to bring every single person closer to the Lord. That if you don't hear anything else come out of my mouth, my truth and my belief and my heart is for you to know Jesus better, and for you to know how much He loves you, and that you would want to have a personal relationship with Him, and that this isn't about religion at all. It should never be about religion. It's not about rules or regulations. It is all about relationship. It is all about the unconditional love of God and accepting who He is and who you are, and really living in that truth and embracing that. And I guess you're kind of just going to continue to see how my story, or how He speaks to me, what it looks like for me, and how I'm sharing it. And I pray that He uses it how He wants to use it, and when He wants to use it. I still don't even know if I'm going to be uploading these videos or not, but I know I am supposed to be making them. So here I am doing that, trying to be obedient. And I just want to continue sharing some words with you. So this one is from December 1st of 2021, so it's pretty recent. I came to God this morning and humbled myself before Him and asked Him what my next assignment was. Where I was asking Him, what did He have for me? What did it feel like? Where were we going? And I could like see Him lean in close, and He said, rest. Take this season of rest. And then He said, Kaylee, I see how hard you've been trying. I see how hard you've been working. I see how hard you've been trying to be like me and reflect me and do things like me. And I love you for it. I truly know your heart is in the right place, and it is positioned to be more like me every day. But my child, I created you to be you. And the more you try to be like someone else, the more you forget who you truly are. You aren't going to change the world by being someone else. You have to be you. You have to be authentically 100% you. There's a difference between treating people how I would and loving them how I do, and truly acting like me when it's not you. You can love people like me, but still be you. You can treat people like me, but still be you. I don't want you to lose yourself trying to find me. You've already found me. You found me the moment you gave your life over to me. Now the trick is finding the balance between living large for me, but as yourself. I know it's uncertain ground and you feel as though you've lost your footing, but I can assure you that you haven't. You are simply figuring it out as you go, and that's always been my plan for you. You are a person who learns by fire and by going out and doing it rather than staying in your head. You are not behind, and you certainly didn't mess it up. You are simply trying to figure out who you are in the process of still trying to live for me. I don't want you to give up your life for me. I don't want you to give up your life and your likings and your preferences and your talents and your gifts for me. I don't want slaves. I want family. I don't want work. I just want obedience. And obedience comes when you are truly walking in who you are, but you are living for me. I don't want you to feel like you have to give things up in order to make me like you or to approve of you. That would be manipulation. Manipulation at its core. I don't tell my children what they can and can't do, but I do show them my ways, and then I allow them to find their own path along that way. That path may look different for every single one of my children, and that's okay. Actually, that's better than okay, because that's great, because that allows the individuality of each child to come through and to be seen. That's all I want for you. That's all I want for any one of you. I want you to feel seen, but not for trying to be something else. I want you to be seen and known and loved for you, the true and authentic you. You give such light to those around you. You breathe life into dead situations and dead people, and you bring them back to life. You shine my light as well as your own, and I want you to know that is okay. That is how I've created you. I have created you to be all that you can be, while still sharing me. It is truly a talent and one that you will continue to form. I love you more than you can comprehend or grasp, and I need you to know that you're not alone. You're never alone. I am always right beside you, and I promise I will lead you through this too. So I know that was kind of a personal word to me, but I also feel like it is meant to be shared with others, because it's a hard process to try to figure out who you are personally and individually, like as an individual, and still live your life for God. Because I know I personally was getting kind of caught up in the religious mindset of I have to be a certain way to portray God. Like God's reputation is at stake. So I need to look a certain way, I need to act a certain way, I need to talk a certain way, I need to be a certain way for people to receive God. Because I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to be the one that turns someone away from the Lord. That's never ever my intention. And so I definitely am still in this process of understanding and trying to find that balance of knowing myself, figuring out myself, and still knowing how to live for God, and how to blend those together without me actually losing myself and watering myself down. Because I feel like that's definitely what started to happen. Is I was watering myself down. I was stuffing myself. I was, pushing different parts of me down, trying to look a certain way, trying to be a certain way, so that God could come through me. And in the process of me doing that, I was shutting God down too. And so I'm on this journey, or I'm in this process of trying to allow myself to be all that He's called me to be and all that He created me to be, but still also live for Him, and to still share His love, and still, just love all of His children. And so if you have found yourself in that position at all, of, just really feeling like you have to be a certain way or do a certain thing for you to be able to, stay in connection with God, I just want you to know that He wants you to be. He doesn't want you to try to be like Him. I know I'm not 100% sure how to explain it, because our intention is to live like Christ. That is our intention. That's 100% who we are called to be as Christians, is to live a life that represents Christ and to be as Christ-like as we possibly can. But there is a level of knowing what parts of you make you and keeping those parts and still living like Christ, rather than putting down all of the parts that make you you and trying to be Jesus, because there's that level of perfectionism where it's like, you will never be Jesus. We are not Jesus. We can strive for it all day long, but we will not be him. He is perfect and is the Son of God, and that's why he came for us, because he knew we could never do that for ourselves. So I really just feel like there is that level of balance of finding who you are, which is a process in itself. I understand, and I know that takes time to be gentle with yourself and be kind to yourself as you're in the process of figuring out who you are and allowing God to show you who you are. And then as you are discovering that about yourself, living, I don't know, I think I heard someone say it, it's the idea is trying to live your life as Jesus would if he was you. Not trying to make you be like Jesus, if that makes sense, but it's more of a, if Jesus was Kaylee, if Jesus looked like me, sounded like me, had my talents, had my passions, had my limitations, had my issues or my temptations or my just if Jesus was me, how would he be? It is so relieving for me to know that, like, okay, that takes the pressure off of me trying to be like someone else that I can never accomplish. Like, I will never be as good as Jesus. I mean, that's why he is so amazing. But it's unrealistic to expect myself to be like him, or to expect anyone else to be like him for that matter. I mean, I think the mindset should be a little bit more of how would Jesus be if he was like me? How can I show love through what I have to offer, and acceptance, and how Jesus was if he was me, if he looked like me, if he sounded like me, if he talked, if he believed what I believed, if he grew up where I grew up, if he had the influence with the people around him that I do, rather than trying to put pieces of you away and try to chip pieces of you off and try to stuff parts of you here and there and like try to have all of these things nicely tucked away, when all of those are what make you you. All of those things are the things that the Lord has given you to use for you to make a difference, for you to change the world, for you to set people free. And so, we end up watering it down. We water ourselves down. And even though it's out of love for the Lord, and even though it's out of, us really trying to be more like Christ, I know that feeling of feeling like you lost yourself along the way. And I just want you to feel set free from that you don't have to hide parts of you to try to be more like Jesus, because those parts of you might very well be, they probably will be, the places or the parts that help specific people that no one else would be able to help, because it is something that only you have gone through, only you have experienced, and you can be the only one to help them through theirs. And so, like, why would God want you to take that away? Why would he want you to stuff that in a box, in a closet, when that could be what saves someone else's life or sets someone else free? So for me, it's very empowering and very, just encouraging to know that, all right, it's okay for me to be in this process of finding that balance of living for God, but doing it as me, doing it as Kaylee would. And this is kind of, you're going to get to experience my journey as I'm doing this, because at some point you have to let people in. Go on, and if you continue to hear Libby barking, she is a great guard dog. She loves to bark at everything that moves outside or upstairs. So rather than me continuing to yell at her to try to get her to stop, I'm just gonna continue to let her go and try to talk on top of her. So try to ignore her, I guess. She thinks she's really tough. Let's see. So this is a word that I just got in January 3rd, 2022, and I had sat down and was talking with the Lord and was thanking Him for everything that He's doing for me. And then I had asked Him, like, what were His instructions for me? If you haven't realized it yet, I like direction. I like instructions. I like to be prepared. I like to have a plan. So a ton of my prayers come from that heart posture of, lead me. God, lead me. I need you to lead me. And so I was asking for instructions again, and I heard Him say, go and be free. And then I saw a gate opening, kind of like in the movie Spirit, where He tells Spirit to be free, and Spirit doesn't really want to leave at first, but then He kind of shoos him to go away, knowing, like, it's good for you to be free. Like, I need you to go. I want you to go. Like, this is what's better for you. And then I felt like I saw this wand drawing in the air, kind of like in like the Cinderella story, and as it was like drawing in the air, it's like bippity boppity boop. And so it just made me think of Cinderella, and like you could see, you know, like her transformation of her coming from like having these tattered clothes on, and you know, turning into this magical, royal, you know, appearance. You know, like her whole entire image changed in like the matter of this little moment. And so that's kind of what I felt like the Lord was saying, is like He's, you know, taking you from like rags to riches kind of thing, and that He wants to do something beautiful in your life, and like you are coming out of transition, and He wants to bring you into the spotlight. And the word royal and royalty, you know, just kept coming up and coming up, like that's what He wants for you. Is like He wants to bring you into the spotlight. He wants you to be seen. You've gone through the testing, you've gone through the trials, and like He wants you to shine and to help those around you. And so Lord elevates you, and when He brings you around that, or just really anything that He's promised you, it is your promise. It is your perfect fitting promise, and no one can steal it from you. There may be people that try. There may be people that try to, you know, kind of change the direction, but really, like, if He made it for you, it will not work for anyone else in the level that it's meant to work for you. So it is just really comforting to know that, like, God has written your story, and like it's this beautiful Cinderella story that your promise will only fit for you, and you haven't lost it. It doesn't go away. You can't lose it. You know, it's always going to be there, ready when you're ready, and it will be a perfect fit. Because it was designed special for you. And I love how God's, you know, he says, like, I have a habit of taking a nobody, turning them into a somebody in front of everybody without asking anybody. And you know, just that feeling of, it's not something that you have to earn or prepare for. It's something that He's already freely given you, and He's already, you know, perfectly molded and created and designed specifically for you, and He just wants to give it to you. It's just a free gift of, I love you and I want you to have this. It's not something that you have to do all these things, you know, jump up and down 10 times, bend over backwards, you know, do all these things for me to give it to you, and I just want to give it to you. I just want this for you. As much as you want it, I want to give it to you. And it's just really, you know, I love it. I love how thoughtful the Lord is, and how He knows everything about you individually, and He is so purposeful, I guess, with everything that He does and everything He's doing. It's just all ties together, and it all weaves together, and it's just a beautiful story. And so, yeah, I just kind of feel like what the Lord was saying is, like, this year is just going to look different. It's going to look different for a lot of us. He's elevating a lot of us. He's bringing us to new levels. He's giving us more influence. He's, you know, bringing you into the spotlight. He is, you know, giving you, you know, He's wanting you to shine your light. He's wanting people to see you and notice you, and that it's going to be a year of blessings. Just your cup overflowing of blessings. And I'm not just talking any blessings. I'm talking these very specific Cinderella, perfect fitting glass slipper kind of blessings that, like, touch your heart to know, like, this was perfectly for me. this was perfectly, like, this was made for me. This was designed for me. Because, like, I know our Heavenly Father is just as excited about giving us those things as we are about receiving them, because He designed them. It's, if you work on a present, you work on a gift for someone, you are just as excited to give it to them and to see their reaction and to, be a part of that with them. And so I really feel like that's kind of what He's saying for this year, or at least, in the season right now is, like, be joyfully expectant of, like, these beautiful, intricate, perfectly custom designed blessings that He has for you. And, that you are worthy of them. And He wants to give them to you. You don't have to earn them. Yeah, I really feel like that it's been such a comforting word to me and God throughout the day. This was on January 13th, 2022. So another pretty recent one. I ended up getting COVID over this time period, but the newer version, I don't know. And I had ended up losing my taste with it, which they were saying was uncommon. This new cold you weren't supposed to lose your taste. Well, I ended up losing my taste, and I was just trying to eat like normal food. This just doesn't taste good. Like, oh, why am I even eating any of this? Like, this doesn't even taste good. It's not fulfilling at all. And it was so interesting because that's when God kind of spoke through it, and He was like, I'm changing your taste for things. And, like, for me, that, He didn't elaborate a whole lot on it, but sometimes it's just that littlest nugget for me to know, like, oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense, God. Like, I can see that in my life already. Like, He's already changing this or changing that, or here's this new interest, or what about this? Let's look at this. Let's, try this out, try that out. And to me, like, He is changing our taste. So, like, be open, be receptive or susceptive, I don't know, whatever that word is, of, like, what He may be wanting to share with you and where it may be coming from and what that may look like, and just, kind of like, just, all right, God, like, I'm yours, whatever you have for me, because, like, I do believe, like, He's changing our taste for things, and, like, that's okay. It's okay for us to kind of change. Yeah, for me, I agree. And then, quickly after that, I feel like He had given me the word that said, like, this is the year of novice. The year for the novice to be recognized. It's their turn. Start and try your hand at many different things, even if you feel inferior at them, because I will show off. Try new things. Be, be willing to step out and try new things. In all of the areas of your life, honestly, because, like, the word novice for me, growing up in the horse show world and with horses and everything, novice is for me kind of this, like, idea that you're given the space to just get to try it and have fun with it and be, more carefree. There's not the pressure of, like, a professional, or, like, someone that's like, this is a career move or like a career kind of thing. It's easygoing, it's easy flowing. You can, kind of go with it and move in and move out, and it's, supposed to be enjoyable. And so for me, that was really comforting to know that, like, okay, this is the year that, like the passage in the Bible that says, like, the last will be, or the first will be last and the last will be first. All of these words are becoming very recent because we're kind of wrapping up. And so this one was from January 19th, 2022. And it's definitely, a personal word, but I feel like it's also for everyone else as well. I feel like this is something that I've just been going through by myself. I definitely feel like there's a large number of us that have kind of been going through a similar season. And so He had said, the transformation process is complete, and you are beginning the great emergence, the extraction of the old and the mending of the new. As you emerge, there will be expansion. There will be expansion of you. Don't hold tightly onto anything during this expansion process, because you will see how quickly you will outgrow everything that your hand touches. Be willing to move in and out of many different things, take up and start new things with the blink of an eye. Don't question what I have for you, because you will know. The real, true side of you will know. The essence of me within you will begin to emerge as well. There will be a sort of blending that takes place as I expand you to match me. Don't be afraid to try new things and take chances. That's how you'll grow, and that's how you'll continue to expand. The great expansion of you as you emerge. Watch out, world, because here they come. So for me, it's just really fun and exciting to think about, like, wow, like we made it. I don't know about anyone else, this last season of trials and testing was at a whole new level. Like, I didn't even really think I could comprehend the level of testing that I was going through in the last couple of months. And I just remember thinking, like, all right, Lord, like, it feels like a semester test. Like, it feels like it is a huge compilation of just years of things, of, him teaching me this, him teaching me that, bringing this around, bringing that around, feeling like I've already dealt with that. Let's deal with this again. Let's deal with that again. Plus, we're doing this. Plus, we're doing that. Like, it was exhausting. It was absolutely exhausting, and clearly I feel like that's why he had given me the word to rest, because that's what I needed to do, was to kind of like work through this transformation process, was, to really just sit with him. And so it's really exciting to know, like, that the transformation process is complete, or at least you're nearing the end of what that was, and that you're emerging. And to me, like, that's really exciting to know, like, I'm coming out. It's coming out, kind of like a butterfly, everyone loves to use that analogy, but it goes from something so insignificant to beautiful, and everyone wants to see it, and everyone wants to know it, and, like, that's what God's thinking of us and seeing of us. It's like, all of these butterflies are coming out. They're coming out of hiding. They're coming, they're for Him, and He wants to show you off to the world, and, like, that this is a year of great expansion. Like He's been saying, like, try your hand at new things. Be willing to try this. Be willing to start new things. Be willing to, move in and out of things, like, quickly. I know for me, I have a hard time, like, what to let go of, what to hold on to, when to back off of something. And so I feel like He's just, like, really just, just kind of, like, go with the flow. Try this, try that. Oh, move here, move there, do this, and just be willing to, don't hold on to anything too tightly. Just continue to move in and out of the things that you find enjoyment in, and to see, like, that's where your expansion is coming from. And that's, like, I think He's just as excited as we are. Like, watch out, world, here they come. Like, they are coming, we are coming, and He is showing us off, and it's going to be beautiful, because it's going to take the world, it's going to take our nation by surprise, because we've been, I don't know, I know for me personally, like, you just feel like you've been in this for a long time, a really long time, and it's just exciting to know and to hold on to that it wasn't for nothing, and God can use it, and He will use it, and it's starting now, and it's okay for you to start stepping out. And just know, like, I am just as excited to see what He's doing in your life, and can, like, share what He's doing and where you're going and what you're feeling called to do. And, like, I'd love to support you and encourage you in whatever it is that you're feeling called to do, because we're all in this together. Like, really, we are. I feel like there's just a couple more, so I'm just gonna wrap this up real quick. On the 24th of January of 2022, this is a lot heavier word. It's clearly He likes to, give me the encouraging, loving words that He has, but there is time that He will give me a really deep, really heavy, really weighty word. And they're usually the ones that I panic about and I don't want to share because I don't feel comfortable doing it. But you know what? We're on a roll here. I'm feeling a ton better as I continue to release these words. So I guess I just pray that that the Lord would do with it what He needs to do with it, and that it's not on me, and that it would be released from my shoulders as I speak it. So this word, again, was on January 24th, 2022, and God was saying, there will be a great shaking. It has already begun. Alabama and Florida are feeling it as we speak. Nevada and New Orleans will be next on the list. I will finish in LA, or Hollywood. Hollywood will be shaken and flipped upside down on its head. No man or woman will escape what is coming for them. The storm is here, and the shaking has begun. You will feel the ripple effects all across the nation. Brace yourself for impact as the waves of justice come crashing down. And then he was saying that the comfort is shifting. Stay seated, because I will uproot the ways of the wicked. That is when the shaking will begin, because I will begin to tear the roots from the ground. And I saw this picture of like a big pair of hands, and it was tearing these massive trees from the earth, and like as he was ripping them up out of the ground, the roots were being exposed, and the roots were like, obviously they ran really deep, and they went way further and way wider, and eventually, like as he kept pulling them higher and higher and higher, like you just saw how like the root system was just ridiculous of how far it went and where it went, and eventually like it was going into these cities and under these houses, and as he was pulling them up, he was just destroying everything that had been built on top of these roots. And then like as he would rip them up like this, and then it would just like be this big ripple effect, and you could just see all of the roots, and then they'd pop everything on the ground above them off and just like destroy it. And so yeah, like you can just see everything beginning to shake and crumble, and it was just all destroyed. And so this is kind of where I was asking the Lord, like, okay, well, what exactly are you, like, why are you giving me these names of states? Like, this is not something I normally get. He doesn't really give me like specific geographical locations, because geographical locations is not my strong suit. Just gonna put that out there. So I was like, why are you like telling me about Alabama and Florida? Like, that seems really random. I don't really understand that. But so with what's going on in Alabama and Florida is, I feel like he's saying like they're bringing down the drug rings, and everything tied or associated with drug cartels, and I mean, just whatever that looks like. I don't even know. I'm not even gonna try to guess. Just he said drug rings, and then I asked, what is in Nevada and New Orleans, and he said sex stings and sex rings. So to me, that makes me think of sex trafficking, all of the horrible things that are going on with that. In Nevada and New Orleans apparently are getting taken out from that, and then with LA or Hollywood, it was all of those things. It was drugs and sex rings and all of the sex trafficking and just the kidnapping, and I mean just the horribleness of both of those worlds. And then I felt like he said, there will be justice for all of the wrongdoings of this nation. I am reshaping it one state at a time. And then he said, keep an eye on Georgia, for it will tell you my plans for the future. Again, I have no idea. I mean, I live in Colorado. I don't follow any of these states. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's being unburied. But I do know that I have to release what I feel like he's given me, and he will do with it what he wants. And if this is me and not God, then he will correct it. But I guess just be on the lookout for these different states and what the Lord is bringing to the surface. And he is a God of justice. He is absolutely a God of justice. He cannot stand the wrongdoings and the evil schemes of the enemy. And to me, this just sounds like he has been fed up, and he is done, and he is taking some action. So I guess just be on the lookout for whatever that may look like, and just really, I'm just really thankful and continuing to pray that the Lord hears our cries. He knows that he's righting the wrongs, and he will bring the justice that needs to be served, not us. It's not on us, it's on God. He knows what needs to be done. He is higher than us. His ways are higher than us. We don't have to try to figure it out. We just have to trust and believe that he will figure it out. And I do. I believe that He's got it all figured out, and I can rest knowing that He's got it, and He's ripping out the root system, and it sounds like it's going to be interesting. So, anyways, let's continue on to this last word was probably the most recent one that I've done. It's from January 31st, 2022, and it is about, I don't know, I guess I'll just share it with you and see, but I feel like this is kind of what the Lord was telling me, but it also wasn't just for me. It was kind of like this revelation for me, and so I can share it with others. And so He was saying, there is a new level of influence right in front of you. I have you going, so He was giving it to me when I was walking outside. We have a hill that I walk up and down on our property, and I would walk up the hill forward and then like come back down, and then I'd walk up the hill backwards. And it was like, that was what He was wanting me to do, was like forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards. But like walking up the hill backwards is a little like, you have to really work on your balance, and obviously it's a good leg workout. And so this is kind of what it was pertaining to, is like, I have you going backwards up the hill because that's how I will protect you until the time comes when at the last moment I have you flip around and you turn right into your blessings. Because I would like walk up the hill and then He'd kind of have me turn around so I could continue up facing the hill. Sometimes you won't move forward if you know what is up ahead, so I am keeping it hidden until the time is right. And then I always love when He relates things back to my horses. I'm a horse girl, and He always uses horse analogies for me. So He said, just like your horses, if they don't want to go past something moving forward, you can go past it going backwards, because most of the time if they don't want to move forward, if you start backing up, they'll go backwards, and now you're still passing it. Whatever was scary, you're just going backwards. And so He was saying, like, if they don't want to go past something forward, then you can back them up past it. Then they will move their feet backwards. Then you still take it as a win because they're at least moving. You can still accomplish the task at hand, even if you come at it from a different direction. Sometimes that's what you need, is a different direction. You see things from a different angle, and it might give you a better viewpoint. Maybe right now that's where I have you. I am moving with you in the direction you want to move, and you are gaining many different perspectives and seeing things from a ton of different angles before you take a step forward. And we can face those things head on when you're ready. If all you're ready for right now is to move backwards up the hill, but you're still willing to climb the hill, then I'll take it. We can accomplish everything I have wanted to while you're climbing the hill backwards. Because knowing that as you climb the hill, your back will be taking the brunt of it. You can face those things head on, just not right now, maybe when it starts to feel safer. With your back turned, you don't see all of the stuff that's being shoved or thrown at you. You have less of a chance of running away or backing out or trying to leave. And it also kind of allows God to keep it a surprise or like a secret, like that blessing that He has for you, because I feel like what He was trying to show me was just like at the last minute is when He will flip you around, just like face, like here you are, right into it, no time to worry or think about running away or leaving. It's just going, and then you flip around, and there it is, with this beautiful presentation for you. And so I feel like He was saying, maybe me leading you up the hill backwards has more to do with your trust, and how much you trust me to see how close I can get you before you turn around, or you feel like you're walking blindly when really you're walking by faith, not by sight. Walking by faith, you can get somewhere much quicker than by sight. Walking by faith can take you a lot further than if you are just walking by sight. Because I feel like He's kind of talking about, like, that level of faith that you have just blindly walking backwards up a hill and just being like, okay, I guess I'm just going to walk this hill backwards. Takes a level of faith. And that you're creating your own trail, and that the path that you are creating has never been seen before. So you're kind of like the trailblazer, you're making your own path. And that you can trust Him, that you can trust that He can lead you, that you can blindly follow Him, I guess, and that He will guide you, and that it's all in His perfect plan for you, I guess. So, yeah, I think that might be officially caught up on everything currently. I mean, there's the back part of this is my dreams that I've had and kind of like the interpretations that He's given me for those dreams, but I didn't make it that far, so I think maybe another time I'll pray through those and see what He wants me to share with. But for now, again, this video has gone really long, but I'm just going to, finish up with this, and I just pray that God would meet you right where you're at, right here, right now. I pray that He would give you the clarity and the peace and the wisdom and the discernment and the healing and the protection and the love that each of you are looking for. I pray that you would experience Him in a real way, in a tangible way. I pray that He would show up in your life unmistakably, like they're just without mistake, without that you just know it's Him. And I guess thank you for joining me, and I really appreciate just having the opportunity to sit before you and share with you, and I have full expectation that you're going to get to see what this journey looks like for me, because I am 100% in the middle of it right now, and I think you're going to kind of see the words that I continue to release or the visions that I continue to share with you are going to be where I am at right now, and I'm looking forward to that, I guess, knowing that we're not meant to do this alone. We don't have to do this alone, and that God has a purpose for each and every one of you. To know that He is with you, He is for you, He has never left you, He will never leave you. And yeah, I guess I'm just see where this journey goes. And I don't really know if the videos are going to continue looking like this, what they're going to look like really, but I guess if you're feeling connected to this, then just continue looking for more videos and seeing what the Lord does, and I guess we'll go from there. I pray that you have a blessed day, and thank you for everything. Have a good one. Bye.